Launches pre-election debate series. Traders call for rehabilitation of Agbogloshi roads. And Rodrigo Duterte elected president of Philippines. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Micheline Taka.
I am Shirley Annan. Now to our first story. Traders and motorists at the Agbogloshi market in Accra are calling on the city authorities to rehabilitate the road leading to the market. The traders say it is very difficult transporting goods into the market as the trucks sometimes overturn on the road, leading to the loss of goods, which in turn affects their operations.
Agbogloshi is one of the biggest markets in Ghana. Foodstuffs from across the country and even beyond find its way into this market. This is the best place to get a good bargain for farm produce. But sadly, the roads leading to this market is in a deplorable state. Tuesdays and Fridays are market days at Agbogloshi. Apart from Makola, Agbogloshi can easily pass as the most popular market in Accra. No wonder traders will go to Navrongo, Bolgatanga, Tamale, Techiman and even Burkina Faso, Niger among others, are always in a rush to ensure that their goods finally get to the homes of their customers. But accessing all these important markets has become a challenge for motorists. There are two routes to the Agbogloshi market, that is, either from Abosu-Okai or the Graphic Road. The entire stretch has deep potholes which makes driving on it quite difficult. As a stopgap measure, the traders have spread coconut husk on the road to cover some of the potholes. Rainy seasons are bad times for market women here. The whole market gets muddy and the trucks that carry their foodstuffs are unable to drive on the road. On market days, this road gets very congested as the traders have to stay in traffic for hours before they are able to get into the market to offload their goods. Some of the drivers who ply the road spoke to GBC24.
The AMA generates its revenue from here, so they should come and put the road in good shape.
The road is very bad. It's more than 5 years now I've been passing through this road. We have been telling our clients here to talk to the president to help us, but no one is minding us. So, and we don't know the reason why, and we'll be paying tax for it. So we are pleading on behalf of GTV to tell the government to help us on this road.
The road is not the only challenge facing traders and drivers alike here. The traders say they pay 50 pesos each day to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, yet they are left at the mercy of the weather, be it sunny or rainy day. Kayayes are also charged the same amount. Sanitation is virtually non-existent at this market. Agbogloshi is also close to the electronic waste dump site, which has been described by environmentalists as one of the most toxic places on earth. The plume of smoke rising from the electronic waste, coupled with the dust from the road, can easily settle on the foodstuffs being sold in the market. The health implications could be a lot, but this is yet to be researched into. The gutters are choked with rubbish, and the scents emanating from them are unbearable. Our camera spotted this man who was angry with some officials of Zoom Lion for refusing to take rubbish from him.
I don't understand why the car is here, but we cannot use it.
Traders who deal in fruits, vegetables, fish and cooked food say they are the ones who bear the brunt of the dust emanating from the road.
The roads to the market are bad and we are facing a lot of
So these are the concerns of both traders and drivers alike about the state of Agbogbloshie roads. They are calling on government to, as a matter of urgency, see to the rehabilitation of Agbogbloshie roads for easy access into the market. For GBC24, Winifred Efun, Agbogbloshie.
Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur has expressed optimism about the prospect of marriage between HFC Bank and Republic Bank. Mr. Arthur has therefore tasked the bank to serve as a point of contact for investment flow from Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Arthur made the statement in Accra at a reception for the visiting Prime Minister of that country, Dr. Keith Rowley.
The new HFC Bank is a subsidiary of Republic Financial Holdings Limited of the Caribbean state of Trinidad and Tobago. The mother financial group started exploring the Ghanaian market in 2010 when the current Vice President, Mr. Arthur, was governor of the central bank. By 2012, Republic Bank had made an initial investment of about $100 million, giving the Caribbean group a foothold into Ghana, a strategic move into sub-Saharan Africa. Just a year after a successful merger, management of this well-positioned bank is hopeful of building tomorrow by bonding today.
I am happy to report that after 1 year, our strategy to make HFC Bank a first-tier bank in the next 3 years, that is moving from number 17 to at least number 5, is well in progress. And we are confident that we will achieve this goal.
We remained steadfast to the cause because we believed then and still believe now in the great potential for increased value creation between not only our two organizations but also our two countries. We have worked very diligently over the year to add value at every juncture through capacity building, sharing of best practices, stronger risk management, experienced leadership, and the introduction of new products and services to the Ghanaian financial sector.
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, traced the bond between his country and Ghana to the one between Ghana's founder, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and George Padmore from the Caribbean. He said, with Ghana and his country sharing legal, cultural, social, political and economic similitude, Ghana presents a window of opportunity to Republic Bank, while his country affords Ghanaian businesses the opportunities to Barbados, Grenada, Suriname and Guyana.
Republic Bank has shown that out of Trinidad and Tobago, we are a trailblazer to Africa, because I'm confident that given what today's world is, the technology, the speed of movement, and the opportunity for development would see further growth and expansion of interest between Trinidad and Tobago, and not just Ghana, but West Africa as a whole. Because once we get going here in Ghana, Ghana is a supplier of goods and services to the region. And what in effect is happening here is that our Caribbean initiatives in Ghana allow us market, but the Saharan market.
Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur gave government's word to create a business-friendly environment that encourages more joint venture partnerships.
For more than 100 years, you have produced petroleum and you have supported the livelihoods of many people in your country. Now, while acknowledging your achievements, we hope that Ghana can also benefit from the expertise that you have developed, especially in local content in oil and gas sector. We hope that with the Republic Financial Holdings as the arrowhead, as a point of contact for investments from Trinidad and Tobago, there will be expansion of business between Ghana and the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Republic Bank holds some 57.11% shares in HFC Bank. With its 179 years experience in the financial sector of most Caribbean economies, Ghana's 26 million market raises the taste buds of several Trinidad and Tobago businesses to venture into agriculture, manufacturing, energy, and the services sectors here in Ghana. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Accra.
The Electoral Commission says it is strengthening security at all its offices in the northern region. On Sunday night, thieves broke into the office of the Electoral Commission at Savalugu in the northern region and made away with equipment used for the just-ended voters' registration. GBC24's Abdulhai Mumin is currently in Tamale and has met with the Northern Regional Director of the EC, Mr. Bruce AEC.
The items stolen included a voters management system machine, which the Commission uses to transfer data on voters after registration exercise. Other office equipment, including computers, were also stolen. The VMS had been installed at the Savalugu office since 2012. The unidentified men were said to have entered the office through a window after they destroyed some louver blades. The Northern Regional Director of the EC, Mr. Bruce AEC, who confirmed the incident to GBC24, said the theft would not affect registrants since the data on them from the limited voters registration exercise, which ended on Sunday, has already been transferred to Accra.
On entering the office, they realized that the place had been vandalized by thieves who entered through the windows of the office. Following that, a report was made to the police, and so far the police are continuing with their investigations.
The PRO of the Northern Regional Police Command, ASP Ebenezer Tete, says one person has been picked up while investigations are ongoing.
We also had to reasonably suspect the security officer who was in charge for the night duty, so he was picked, and we are interrogating him now as we speak. So if you are able to establish that there's any nexus between the burglary at the district office and then the Savalugu district election EC office, then we'll take it up from there.
The EC maintains that the VMS machine that thieves took away was a dormant one, adding that the active one was at a different location, so it has nothing to do with the data of the new voters. Abdulhai Mumin, GBC24.
The Institute of Economic Affairs has launched its 2016 election program with pre-election debate high on the agenda. The pre-election debate series is designed to provide a platform for presidential candidates to outline their vision on governance and promote dialogue among candidates.
The Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, has organized presidential debates ahead of every election since 2000. For the fifth time, the IEA will host its pre-election debate series for candidates whose parties have representation in Parliament in order to make a contribution to good governance. There will be 2 presidential debates and 1 vice presidential debate for vice presidential aspirants whose parties have representation in Parliament. The Evening Encounter series is scheduled between mid-June and mid-July. The first presidential debate will be held in the last week of September, with the second in the 3rd week of October. The vice presidential debate will be held in the 1st week of October. A senior research fellow of the IEA, Dr. Michael Ofori-Mensah, urged the media to partner with the IEA to deepen democracy and ensure a free and fair elections.
What we are hoping to do is, again, to use that platform to hold the candidates accountable and also to allow the candidates to use, again, the debates to point out the differences in their policies and programs, between themselves. And I believe that this would also send out the message that politics, or, the political campaigns, it's about, a contest of ideas and not a call to arms. And that is very critical.
The IEA also launched the 2012 debate series publications. Yaira Lawe, GBC24, Accra.
The Drug Law Enforcement Units of the Ashanti Regional Police Command has destroyed a large quantity of narcotic drugs had long been in its possession. The destruction of the drugs is a routine exercise carried out by the police to empty its warehouse of exhibits of cases that have already been dealt with in the law courts.
The destruction took place at the Oti landfill site in Kumasi under the supervision of personnel of the unit and Environmental Protection Agency. Over 400 bags of the destroyed narcotic drugs were mainly cannabis. A court order has already been given for the exhibits to be destroyed by the police. The commander of the Ashanti Regional Drug Law Enforcement Unit, ASP Jeremiah Alale, threw more light on the exercise.
The narcotic drugs that we are destroying are derelict exhibits. They are exhibits that probably we might have the tip-off. Before you get to the place, the culprit escapes. And you take that. We have to keep it and make an effort to get the culprits arrested. And failure to do that, we have to, destroy it.
USAID has presented 4 Ford Transit buses and pickups to the Fisheries Commission to enable it to enforce compliance with the fisheries laws in the country. The vehicles will be used for shore-based patrols to deter illegal fishing.
Illegal and unregulated fishing challenges facing the fishing industry in Ghana. The effect is drastic decline and depletion of some of the marine stocks. But now, steps are being taken to address the problem. In order to ensure that these laws are adhered to, USAID Ghana Sustainable Fisheries Management Project is supporting Ghana with 4 vehicles at a cost of $140,000. In an interview, the Minister for the Fisheries Sector, Madam Sherry Ayite, said the vehicles will help in facilitating the movement of the law enforcement agencies along the coast.
The enforcement units, they've been working with the Navy and also with the Marine Police, but that is, trying to track the activities of illegal fishing.
The USAID representative, Mr. Brian Crawford, was hopeful that the vehicles will go a long way to improve upon fisheries management in Ghana.
It's very important that the vehicles can be used to have enforcement staff and Fisheries Commission staff go out and communicate to fishermen about what the laws are and why they're in place, because the laws are there for a reason. It's there to try to conserve the fish stocks and rebuild the depleted stocks that are out there.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, says Ghana is one of the countries in the world that consumes fish a lot.
The police in the Ashanti region have arrested a 49-year-old man, Kwame Fifa, for allegedly trading in military weapons without lawful authorization. Kwame Fifa was arrested at Asante Mampong and has been transferred to the police CID headquarters for forensic investigations into the circumstances surrounding the acquisition of the weapons.
Ashanti Regional Police Commander ACP Ambufuduku said that the suspect, Kwame Fifa, a dealer in electrical materials near the Anglican Church at Asante Mampong, was arrested at about 9 p.m. last Friday. This followed an intelligence report. The police say the suspect led them to his electrical shop where the exhibits were retrieved. ACP Ambufuduku explained why those weapons found in the possession of Fifa was an offense. He said the suspect will be sent to the police headquarters in Accra for a forensic investigation to be carried out.
Upon the search conducted, these items were found and impounded. 77 pieces of 800 type self-defensive flashlights. It is a flashlight with a shocker at the same time. 50 pieces of American-style NATO Super Paralysant pepper spray and 29 pieces of lacrimeter ejector, GA577-2005, that is the name or the type, pepper spray, and 20 pieces of 2012 night flashlight with a shocker. Ladies and gentlemen, all these are military items. And like arms and ammunitions, you cannot display them, you cannot offer them for sale, you cannot deal in them without law. It is only those with arms and ammunition dealers who have licenses to deal in arms and ammunition that can possess these items and dispense them to the general public.
In December 2015, the police in Kumasi arrested 4 people who were in possession of 20 AK-47 machine guns and ammunitions.
6 people are reported dead while 4 others are missing when a boat capsized on the Volta Lake while traveling from Yeji in Bunahafo to Mankango in the northern region. The accident occurred Monday night while the overloaded boat was moving from Yeji heading towards Makango in the East Gonja district of the northern region. The official operations of boats on the lake ends at 6 p.m. but some passengers managed to convince the boat operators to provide transport for the night journey. The ferry that services the area is reported to have broken down. We go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, business will be next.
Hello, good evening and welcome. We are grateful to have you join us for some business update. I am Dorothy Ajman. The latest survey by the Association of Ghana Industries on the business environment shows that business confidence in the first quarter of 2016 has shot up compared to previous quarters. The president of the association, Mr. James Asarieje, said improvements in the power supply explains the confidence being expressed by business operators.
The stability in power supply has brought some relief to business operators, and they say if this continues, all the grounds lost will be recovered. These were some of the views captured in the AGI's latest business barometer. Business confidence has jumped from 95.9 to 101.9 points for the first quarter of 2016. Nevertheless, the top 5 challenges that affected businesses in the first quarter of 2016 were the high cost of utility, multiplicity of taxes, cedi depreciation, access to credit and delays in payment. The chief executive of the AGI, Mr. Setu Makwabwa, said although energy has been relatively available to industries, the high cost is now a bane to production.
Last year, utility was a major problem, but it was more in respect of the supply of energy. Consistent and reliable supply was a challenge. So industries complained because they were not getting adequate supply. This year and this time around, there has been improvement and it's recognized in the business barometer survey. However, even though there has been improvement, the cost of it has also gone very high. And industries are saying, can we have the cost reduced? Is it possible?
The president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Mr. James Asarieje, called on political parties to ensure that the peace in the country is maintained before, during and after the November 7th elections.
You realize that after the 2012 election, over 8 months, you see, of Supreme Court activities in respect of disputes in the election results affected businesses a great deal. And for that matter, business confidence. So what we don't want to see is as a repeat, of what happened, is what we are cautioning about.
He also called on government to keep its expenditure within limits to avoid overruns, which is typical in election years.
The United Kingdom is investing over £14 million into the northern savannah zone of the country. The program, dubbed the Market Development Program for Northern Ghana, aims at scaling up agricultural production and ensure that investment opportunities in the region are well publicized to attract the right investment.
The Northern Savannah Zone is the largest agriculture zone. Most of the nation's supply of rice, millet, sorghum, yam, tomatoes and cotton are grown in the region. Though Ghana gets most of its sheep, goats and cattle from Burkina Faso, a good number of these livestock are from the northern savannah. In recent times, mango and ostrich commercial farms are also gaining footholds in the northern zone. However, getting the right investment into the area has become a challenge. This is why the UKAID introduced the market program for northern Ghana, MAID. MAID is a 4-year market system that aims to promoting growth and reducing poverty in the 63 districts covered by the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority, SADA.
Zenith Bank Ghana has officially launched its Global Pay product onto the market. Global Pay is a secure platform that will enable companies and individuals to accept card payments on real-time basis for purchasing goods and services.
In the year 2015, Zenith Bank Ghana was awarded the best e-commerce bank in the country. In an effort to provide continuous quality service to its customers, the bank has added a new product to its bouquet of products known as Global Pay. This is an e-commerce service that enables companies to sell their products safely online in order to boost sales. Global Pay has been designed as a secure web-based collection gateway that enables merchants with or without a website to accept real-time cash payments from customers worldwide. With this, merchants can sign on to the Global Pay and receive online payments from a wide variety of locally and internationally issued cards, including MasterCard and Visa. The Managing Director and Chief Executive of Zenith Bank Ghana, Mr. Henry Orol, said the bank will work with the merchants developers to integrate its payment API into their website, thereby enabling customers to make purchases with their cards directly from the website.
The bank continues to develop and enhance these products and services to satisfy the ever-changing and growing needs of today's customers, bearing in mind the technologically driven world that we live in today. And as part of the government's vision to move Ghana towards a cash-light society, coupled with a world where almost everything is powered by the internet, it has become imperative on us as a bank to ensure that we engage customers with a wide array of technologically driven products and services for their convenience.
A representative from the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Seto Amedeku, lauded Zenith Bank for this initiative as it will enhance Ghana's drive towards a cashless society. He, however, cautioned the bank to make sure that merchants are screened thoroughly before they are signed onto the platform. Also, the General Manager for the Technology and Operations of GIBS, Mr. Kojoin Tim, said Global Pay will make transactions flexible and stress-free.
You're watching the business segment of the news, and on the interbank market, the cedi gained 2 pesos to the pound sterling to trade at 5 cedis 48 pesos. The cedi maintained its value to the dollar and euro to trade at 3 cedis 80 pesos and 4 cedis 34 pesos respectively. The figures up next. Light crude dipped by 4 cents to trade at $43.40 per barrel. Gold also lost by $1.70 to trade at $1,263.90 an ounce. However, cocoa gained $30 to trade at $3,077 per ton. Segment was brought to you by Airtel and Ernest Chemist. Coming up is insurance news. The National Insurance Authority says some insurance companies have failed to meet the new 15 million Ghana cedi capital threshold for insurance companies. The Commissioner for Insurance, Lydia Laribabawa, has told GBC24 that some insurance companies do not have the capacity to meet the capital requirement. She has suggested that some companies into its measure to improve their capital base to be able to meet the capital requirements and place themselves in a better position to assume bigger risk.
Insurance regulators require insurance companies to maintain capital thresholds in order to continue to stay in business. Requirements differ from country to country and regulatory jurisdiction. In Ghana, the National Insurance Commission has increased the minimum capital requirement from 5 million Ghana cedis to 15 million Ghana cedis, with December 2015 as the deadline for companies to meet their requirement. According to the Insurance Commission, the adjustments have been made to strengthen the balance sheets and accounts to meet global standards. It was also meant to encourage the merger of smaller insurance firms and support the overall consolidation of the sector. But the Commissioner for Insurance says, though the December 2015 deadline has passed, some companies are yet to meet the new requirements.
We have pegged the minimum capital limit, and we gave them up to the 1st of January this year to meet those minimum requirements. Some, a majority of them have. There are a few that the shareholders have injected capital into some of them.
She said the smaller companies should consider merging with other companies to underwrite bigger risks.
People are still applying every day to open insurance companies. Small. And those ones, the startups, the new ones, are usually they are not able to take off smoothly. So we have challenges with them. But we are encouraging with the minimum, raising the minimum capital level, then we have a threshold.
She said the Commission will introduce the needed steps to ensure companies comply with the new rules, while sanctions will be applied to those companies which fail to meet their new requirements.
That was the insurance news brought to you by SIC Live. We have more news coming up. Please do stay. Now let's do some health news. This segment is brought to you by FPAC. FPAC blows your pain away. In our first story, the Malaria Control Project to help treat and prevent malaria among pregnant women and children under 5 years has been launched at Wale Wale in the northern region. Under the project, rooms of residents are sprayed to kill mosquitoes and insects every 6 months.
The project, dubbed African Indoor Residual Spraying Campaign, is in collaboration with USAID, Ghana Health Service, and the National Malaria Control Program. The U.S. President Malaria Initiative Project was introduced in Ghana in 2008 in 5 districts of the northern region. They include West Mamprusi, Gushegu Karga, Savelugu Nanton, and Tolon Kumbugu districts. The project is being implemented by trained spray operators selected from the community and supervised by professional supervisors for its quality and safety. The theme for this year's campaign is Give Access, Spray Communities, and End Malaria for Good. The Regional Director of the Ghana Health Services, Dr. Jacob Mahama, said, though some significant gains have been achieved in controlling malaria with the indoor residual spraying, malaria still remains the leading cause of mortality in the region.
Government of Ghana and its key institutions should continue to invest in malaria. Health facilities must maintain and improve standards for malaria treatment. Distribution of nets should be accompanied by intensive and sustained education on proper use and care of nets.
The Chief of Party for African Indoor Residual Spray in Ghana, Dr. Yemani Yehedego, said the success of the project depends on teamwork.
The Ghana Health Service has called on the public to insist on being tested for malaria before receiving treatment from health workers. The service believes such approach will stop widespread presumptive treatment based on solely clinical suspicions and the presence of a fever.
A report from the Ghana Health Service shows that self-medication for malaria treatment is common in Ghana. Out of ignorance, some people just walk to any drugstore and buy medicine upon discovering symptoms like fever and headache. This practice usually leads to worsening of symptoms and untimely deaths. However, there is the need for everybody to be tested for malaria before undergoing treatment. The most common kit for malaria test now is the Rapid Diagnostic Test Kit, which is faster, portable and reliable. Results can be generated within 15 to 20 minutes and can be used by any trained individual. The regional focal person of the Ghana Health Service, Dorothy Abude, cautioned the public and health workers not to treat all fevers as malaria because of the health implications.
If you don't test and you go ahead to treat, you may miss a lot of conditions that may not be malaria. And then by the time you realize, the condition may be getting out of hand.
Madame Dorothy Abude said the usage of insecticide-treated nets must also be encouraged to curb the menace.
Breaking the contact of the human being and the vector is by sleeping under IT, the insecticide-treated nets. Okay. When you sleep under it, the contact between you and the mosquito who carries the parasite is broken. And it's a very effective and simple way of preventing malaria.
Statistics from the National Malaria Control Program have established that malaria-related mortality has been declining for the past 5 years. In 2010, over 3,000 deaths caused by malaria was recorded. The figure declined to 3,197 deaths in 2011 and further reduced to 2,799 in 2012. In 2013, 2,985 deaths were recorded, reducing to 2,200 in 2014 and 2,137 in 2015.
That was Health News brought to you by FPAC. FPAC blows your pain away. We have more news coming up. Please do stay.
Welcome back now to some international stories. Maverick anti-crime candidate Rodrigo Duterte has warned that Philippine presidential elections following the withdrawal of his opponent. Although the official result has not yet been declared, main rival Mar Rosas admitted defeat after the polls gave Mr. Duterte an unassailable lead. Mr. Duterte said he accepted the mandate with quote, extreme humility, unquote. The 71-year-old stirred controversy during campaigning with his incendiary comment. He has credited his success to his tough stance on law and order. His record as the crime-crushing mayor of the southern town of Davao, once notorious for its lawlessness, earned him the nickname the Punisher and resonated with voters.
At least 19 Ethiopian children held captive by an armed South Sudanese group for nearly a month have been freed. The children were freed following mediation by South Sudan's government. Reports say this is the first group to be released since 125 children were abducted in a cross-border raid carried out by some members of the Merli community who had previously been accused of stealing livestock and children to raise as their own.
Kenyan police have fired tear gas and water cannons to disperse protesters who gathered to demand the resignation of the body supervising the country's presidential election next year. Hundreds demonstrated in Nairobi near the office of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. The group is demanding the resignation of the electoral body, saying it would rig the 2017 presidential elections. Security has been tight in the Kenyan capital after the protesters who have pledged to gather every Monday were dispersed. We go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, sports is next.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports has signed a memorandum of understanding with Hungary. The development is expected to improve cooperation in several areas in the field of sports.
The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Ghana and Hungary targets coaching and training of athletes. The two ministers briefed the media on the agreement and what both countries stand to get.
We appreciate the achievements of sport in Ghana, and Hungary is also a sport nation. So this agreement, this cooperation in the field of sport in interest of the young people, especially of disadvantaged groups and of vulnerable groups and families, is an important step forward.
A lot of our football coaches were trained in Hungary. A lot of our sports coaches were trained in Hungary, especially in the area of handball and the rest. They trained a lot of our people in the past, and these are things we want to explore again. Also, very important to me and to the ministry is our intention to revive the existing youth training centers.
A special May 9th awareness walk has taken place in Kumasi to remember the victims of the Accra Stadium disaster. Scores of people died in a stampede following a football match between Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Those football fans who lost their lives on the fateful day will forever remain in the hearts of many. They will never walk alone.
On the streets of Kumasi for the May 9th Remembrance Walk. The walk attracted some of the victims of the May 9th disaster, both from Accra and Kumasi. Taking part in the procession were a group of Ghana rugby players as well as family members of the victims of the April 2001 Ellis Park Stadium disaster. Ntakanifo Zulu and Magomo Chelu. A special prayer session was held at the Kumasi Central Mosque. Victims present were prayed for and items donated to them. The organizer of the event, Mr. Herbert Mensah, was happy at the turnout of events.
I say before Allah, nobody from a government has helped us from 2001. The football authorities also do not help us. The people of authority never have helped us. The only higher authority that has helped me since 2001 has been the chief imam, the imams, and the chiefs here in Abu Abu.
This year marks the 15th anniversary of the disaster.
Entertainment is next with Valerie Danso.
Hello, good evening. The 17th edition of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards came off over the weekend with lots of surprise winners, and we bring you reactions from some fans here in Accra.
So who has the final say? Everybody! Has the final say.
This year's VGMA is not different from the others that have been held over the years. That is in terms of controversies. While some fans think that their artists have been cheated, others too content that the award winners deserve what they were given.
Well, it was well organized. Talking about the seating and the starting time in the red carpet was good, but with the performance, well, it wasn't that on point because they tried to do with the light band, and most artists weren't that good with the live band.
If you're a musician, if you can sing in a beat and you cannot sing in a live band, then you are not a musician. Artist of the year, the best. It was supposed to be given to Bisakede, not EO.
For me, I was surprised because I wasn't expecting EO to get the Artist of the Year. I was expecting like either Sarkodie or Stoneboy.
The debate is also raging in the newsroom of GBC24.
I was expecting Bisa to take the award.
I learned EL had taken the Artist of the Year. I think he deserves it because I think he's a serious-minded musician. But I think Bisa Kida did lots of hit songs. It caught up with everybody.
I commend Charterhouse for two things. One, they were able to close on time. And two, the fact that it was streaming live. Other people out of Ghana could also watch it. I thought it was an improvement on the previous ones that we've watched. Apart from that, I felt Bisakede should have won the Artist of the Year. That's what I felt.
For me, I don't think EL did so much work to take him that high. I think that if Shatawale had addressed his issue with Charterhouse, it would have been a done deal for Shatta.
I was expecting Bisakede to win the overall Artist of the Year, or better still, to be the Artist of the Year, because he had a lot of hit songs, all right? But they gave it to EL. I don't know what really went into the selection, so I was a bit disappointed.
To some analysts, the more programs like the VGMA generate controversies, the more it becomes attractive, because not every fan will be supportive of the decision of the judges. Others too are of the view that controversies can undermine the credibility of the VGMA, and the concerns of the public should be taken seriously. The weather report is next.
Before we take leave of you, a look at the top stories. The Institute of Economic Affairs has launched its 2016 election program with pre-election debate high on the agenda. The pre-election debate series will provide a platform for presidential candidates to outline their version on governance.
Traders and motorists at the Agbebloshi market in Accra are calling on city authorities to rehabilitate roads leading to the market. The traders say trucks sometimes overturn on the roads, leading to loss of goods, which in turn affects their operations.
And maverick anti-crime candidate Rodrigo Duterte has won the Philippines presidential election following a huge lead. You have been watching News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Micheline Taka.
I am Shirley, and the news tonight is at 10:30. Please stay.